A few years ago, I genuinely hated how I looked. I felt stuck, unmotivated, completely embarrassed, and I felt like my weight limited how much I could do with my life. And honestly, I thought I'd never actually change. But here's my story of how I lost nearly half my body weight. Let's go. So my name's Kieran, and over the last 5 years of my life, I have dropped 75 kilograms. And this is done by doing multiple different techniques. Now, growing up, I was always known as the fat kid. I was always overweight, and I mean I was morbidly overweight. I was like a watermelon growing up. I was just purely because of the volume of meals I was having. As a child, I wasn't really one for like the sweet treats constantly, but my main issue was the volume of meals. So where I used to live growing up, I used to have a best friend who lived next door, and I would go over his house to have food, to then go back over my house to have food over my house. So I was having double meals, and just over time, eating so much food, and also the assistance of lockdown as well, led to me getting to 15 years of age and 25 stone. So at the age of 12, I joined the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, and I was told I was too big to fit into uniform, and I was too big to fit into a plane, which is a big shocker to me, to be honest, and it really put me in a down state. Me growing up and wanting to be a pilot felt like the dreams were crushed because of my weight. I felt like the weight limited me, which sucks. So what I ended up doing is I quit. I quit the Air Cadets. For about 2 years, I didn't go back. But my officer commanding refused to let me have my uniform back in. He said, no, I want you to go home and have a think, because one day you will turn your life around. And somehow I did. I got to a point in my life where I thought, I'm done waking up being the same person every day. And I got myself a bike, so I went out cycling. Didn't really know what to do with my nutrition, but I was just cycling. Fab, I really enjoyed it. I also had a little punch man in my garage, like a little punch bag in the shape of a man. And I'd get on a pair of crappy Everlast gloves and hit the bag for a bit. And that was my exercise. And it was working, I was losing weight. In fact, in my first week, I lost about 5 pounds, right? Which for your first week is really good. So in my first year of losing weight, I went from 160 kilos down to about 117, which was fantastic. But then I got comfortable. I had a little injury in my elbow, which stopped me going to the gym. And for some reason, I just didn't go back after it healed. In fact, it healed within 3 weeks. So I put the weight back on. And this took literally 6 months. It took me a year to get down 43 kilos. It took me 6 months to put the weight back on. And that's the thing that sucks about losing weight, is you go back to your old habits and your body is so used to being a big blubber of meat that you just go back instantly. It's so easy. So I had to restart. I was fed up. In fact, I didn't go back to the gym for about 2 years, and I gave up on myself. But then there's a new gym opening around me, and I thought, you know what, give us a go. So around about February 2024, where I decided to restart. And I was just strength training. The weight went down really slowly, but I put on quite a bit of muscle in the process. And then in September of 2024, I joined a boxing club. And believe me, a very good boxing club. These people did push me to a lot of my limits. Sometimes I'd leave the gym crying because I was just so frustrated at myself if I had a poor sparring session. But the one thing boxing did do is it made me lose a hell of a lot of weight. I mean, when I started in the boxing club, I was about 130 kilos. And then within the next year, I was down to 100 kilos. And now I'm down to 85. But here's where I went wrong. Up to this point exactly, actually, with the weight loss. And this is what I tell a lot of people I help lose weight as well, is don't cut your calories too much. If you cut your calories too much, you do end up losing a lot of muscle as well. And obviously it's not just as sustainable and enjoyable as if you were to do it slowly but surely. And obviously strength training as well. I did barely any strength training in the last year of my life. So although I've lost a lot of weight, I've also lost a lot of muscle. And that sucks, to be honest, because I'm now looking at myself in the mirror. I can see my midsection as I'm fat still, but then my upper half, I see myself as skin and bone. So I'm currently not actually losing weight. Now my plan is to recomp, where I'm sort of staying the same weight, but I'm trying to transfer that fat to muscle. I will be documenting my journey with this as well. However, today, I'm going to Aldi, and I'm getting my meal prep for the week, and you're coming with me. So whenever I go shopping, I always recommend you go to Aldi, because I live life on a budget. And man, it's just so cheap. And I've forgotten to get a bag. Great. Guess I'm using the good old trolley technique today. I do apologise because you are inside of a chopping trolley. In terms of what I've actually eat then, honestly, just keep it basic, right? So for instance, these chicken drum fillets cost about, what, £3? It's £3 for 600 grams of chicken. It's like a no-brainer. So I'm getting 3 packs of these, and that's my main protein. Genuinely right, this yogurt is a game changer. That's 55 grams of protein per pot. Only costs £1.50 for the tub. It's 500 grams. And also, you crave salty stuff on a daily basis, go through a jar of pickles. This entire jar, there is, well, so per 30 grams of pickle, there's 11 calories. And per 100 grams, 35. Which means that in the entire thing, there's 100 calories in the entire jar. No brainer. Beetroot's pretty nice as well. So yeah, you always want to aim for high protein things. Now in terms of what is the most cool food in the world, you can't go wrong with eggs. But always check inside because some of them might be cracked. Which in this case, they seem alright. Eggs, £2.89. Now when it comes to carbs, there are 2 main sources of carbs I'd recommend. One of them is rice and the other one is potatoes. But it depends what your goal is, right? If your goal is to lose weight, then I'd go for potatoes because you can have more for the calories. But rice is very nice. And in my opinion, I do prefer rice just in general, it just tastes nicer. But in general, potatoes you can't really go wrong with. The question is, what do I go with? I think I might go with the potatoes, guys. I'm going to go for these big ones. There's 5 potatoes in the tank. You can also go for sweet potato as well, but I generally find that normal potatoes are a lot more filling, but sweet potatoes do taste nicer. Right, when you're buying yourself rice, never go for the packets, right? They contain things like sunflower oil and preservatives that are completely awful for you. Always go for the standard rice that you cook. Always add a bit of veg into your diet as well, right? Because they're almost calorie free, but they fill you up. In fact, they fill you up big time. In terms of what veg to get, generally broccoli or carrots. That's broccoli and carrots are the sweet spot. Broccoli. We're on to the big guns here. Pre-workout. What do I recommend to eat before you go to the gym? Brother, cereal. Cereal's a game changer. If you really want to level up your gym sessions, getting yourself some cereal. Can't beat it. It's insane for the pump. And it just fuels you. The thing is, cereal is just carbs and sugar. That's really all cereal is. Promoted as healthy as a child, but it really isn't. But the good thing about the unhealthy food is you use a little bit before your workouts, and mate, you're on a different level. Right, so I've got a few things in my basket now, but the one other thing I would recommend, because you can chuck it in your oats and stuff, is some berries. I quite enjoy buying a fresh pack, cutting the little tops off them and just freezing them then, because they're just better quality strawberries. Right, I think for now that's my weekly shop done. Overall, that's come to just 26 quid. Not bad. Oh, right, that's my shopping done. Now it's time to return the trolley. So what to take from this? This is just my story, but I'm using my story to help people all around the UK and potentially around the world. Because weight loss isn't just a quick fix. Weight loss is a lifestyle change, and that's what people get twisted. So if you really want to make a change yourself, let me help you. Because I'm not a qualified PT, at least yet, but I have 5 years of experience in the game, and I've lost nearly half my body weight on 2 occasions. If there's someone you want to believe with advice, it's me. In the description, you're going to find a few links. One of them will be to my website, where you can find more information about me. You can also find a link to my TikTok, so you can find out more information about me. And I'm also going to include a link to my Calendly for you to book yourself onto a free call with me. You do have to be over 18 years of age to go on the free call. So if you're under 18, I'll throw another link in there for you to just access a free guide to get yourself started. But if you book a free call with me, I'll get you started for free. If there's any further steps after that you think you could benefit from, we'll talk about that there. But I want to use my story to help you and a lot of people around the world. So please refer them to this if you think that they could do with some advice from me. But it's all about keeping it simple. Don't get it twisted with all these people online giving you carnivore diets, keto diets, paleo diets, meal replacement powders like Slim Fast. Throw them in the bin, they don't work. And the reason they don't work is because you can't do them long term. So allow me to help you. Like and subscribe to follow my journey and follow how I can help a lot of people around the world. And this could be the start of your story.